Hey there, I'm Shaka269, and we're back here at Firelink Shrine. Let's talk to this guy. What's up, dude?
Well, what do we have here? You must be a new arrival. Let me guess. Fate of the undead, right? Well, you're not the first. But there's no salvation here. You'd have done better to rot in the undead asylum. But too late now. Well, since you're here, let me help you out. There are, actually, 2 bells of awakening. One's up above in the undead church. The other is far, far below, in the ruins at the base of Blight Town. Ring them both, and something happens. Brilliant, right? Not much to go on, but I have a feeling that won't stop you. So, off you go. It is why you came, isn't it? To this accursed land of the undead?
Alright, so we need to go to Undead Church and Blight Town and ring 2 bells of awakening. That's basically the guidance that we're given. Now, I'm stubborn, so I'm not going to quite do exactly how most people would on their first few playthroughs. I'm gonna get some firebombs. So yeah, I said I was gonna have some fun with the early game here, and well, that's exactly what I plan on doing. So, let's talk to this guy real quick.
Hello there. I believe we are not acquainted. I am Petrus of Thoroland. Have you business with us? If not, I prefer to keep a distance, if possible.
Dude, you're a jerk. Come on.
Hello there. I realize that I have requested that we retain our distance, but I also want you to know that it is not meant in ill will. Here, take this, as a token of peace. No, go ahead. It's for you.
What, like a penny? Come on, dude.
Oh my, you again. Oh, I know. How about this? I have to await my companions here anyway. So what if I were to teach you some miracles? Would that please you?
Well, that's a little better.
Very well. Then first, a covenant with the gods.
I mean, I'm not exactly in any covenant anyways, so it doesn't matter.
Now let me share my miracles. Only their ultimate effectiveness will be determined by your efforts and your faith.
In other words, your stats. Ooh, I learned how to shrug. High tech.
The effectiveness of the teachings depend upon your faith.
In other words, your stats. Alright, let's get up here now. So yeah, this is just a basic... I don't even go through everything, but it's kind of a basic run that I go through every time I start a game, just to pick up some items that, you know, they come in handy. Well, these are red eye orbs. Use these to invade other people. Frame rate's a little weird. I'll explain that here in a moment. Yeah, Morning Star and Talisman, which you can use the Talisman for miracles. Morning Star is just a weapon. And 6 Homeward Bones, which of course the Homeward Bone returns you to the last bonfire you rested at. And right here, I'm not sure if I want to do a full run of the graveyard, so I go in and I'm like, yeah, let's do it. YOLO. And I decide, no, in fact, I'm going to back out. And I almost went for that item over there, but figured it's not worth it. I probably should have did it. It's... Every time I do it now, I tend not to get hit, but it's still a bit risky. And I didn't want to die that quickly. And I almost fell right here like an idiot. Alright. So yeah, the frame rate... It's kind of weird that it starts out, it'll lag a little bit, and then after it's been recording for a few minutes, it tends to pick up and record smoothly, so I just deal with it and it works itself out. So, you'll notice, yeah, there's the Firekeeper. So I'm gonna go ahead and come down into New Londo Ruins to grab the Firekeeper soul, and I'm really bad at doing this without dying. You'll notice I equipped my Homeward Bone, but the thing is, I'm always just a little bit off on the timing. Ultimately, it doesn't matter. I mean, for a new player, 2,292 souls seems like a decent amount, especially at level 1, but it's not really. You can lose it. It's okay. Make sure and get these transient curses. I mean, you can save it for later, but might as well. So I'm treating this as a semi-walkthrough. I will try and highlight everything as necessary on the best way to approach it for a newer player. But I'm also going to be doing some of this my own way, which I'm by no means some super skilled advanced player, but I mean at times I do use more advanced techniques, yeah. So look at this. Am I gonna? Nope. Just barely missed it, and there's no way out at that point. But like I said, it's just 2,300 souls. It's not worth it. And so like I said, treating this kind of as a semi-walkthrough, but I also decided that I'm going to stay at level 1 for a while. So, particularly those souls don't mean a lot because I can't do anything with them yet if I'm not leveling up. But, I don't know, I lost my train of thought for a little bit there, but I guess you're gonna have so many souls if you're not leveling up that you're gonna have a hard time spending them unless you try and do everything, which I kind of have that problem myself, but I don't think it's going to be much of an issue. And yeah, I forgot this item. So yeah, those consumable souls are nice. They do add up the more you get. So this, oh yeah, there's this guy down here. Forgot that I talked to him.
Well, this is unusual. You haven't lost your head. And more importantly, you're free. How on earth? Well, I shouldn't pry. I'm Ricky of Vinine. I was once an established smith. Look at me now. Can you believe it?
So, you talked to him a second time.
What is it? Have you? Oh no. Don't worry. I've no intention of escape. It's safe here. Can't bear the thought of going hollow out there. Although, I must admit, I've not much to occupy myself. How about this? I could forge your weapons, albeit with rather minimal tools. I'll show you what made me the best in Vinine.
Now, if I remember correctly, so yeah, he has Sorcerer's Catalyst,
Come back soon.
which you need that to do any sorcery, and he had a couple basic sorceries. But if I remember correctly, you can give him the, I think it's the Enchanted Ember, Magic Ember, and that's how you do take weapons down the Enchanted upgrade path. But I don't really care. I don't think I've ever used that. And I get a bit lost right here. But what we're doing here is taking the Valley of the Drakes shortcut, not to Blighttown though. Although that shortcut is right here as well. But yeah, I got a bit lost. This is kind of the correct way, I'm just on the wrong side. I always mess that up. I am no speedrunner. That little cave right there was the Blighttown entrance. The shortcut. And about this point I was realizing it seemed extremely dark. So I decided to turn it up a little bit to hopefully benefit the final product when it's on YouTube, because YouTube videos tend to be dark. So I apologize if it was a bit dark prior to this. Now this guy, if you get these two items here at the first, he will attack and he will kill you, particularly when you don't have any good equipment like I do right now. He is very pretty though, isn't he? But yeah, if you just sneak in here, I don't know if you even have to sneak, but you can grab that soul without him getting angry. So this part can be a little tricky. The drakes are up here. If you stay near the edge to the left and run at this guy, he'll do one of two things. He'll either kind of attack towards his right, which means you'll go around his left, or if you watch his head and he turns it to the left, like so, which I almost messed that up, you go around his right. It's a little tricky. You can always just bait him into attacking and then go around. That works as well, but I was in a rush. I don't know why. I'm not speed running. Again, I am no speed runner. So now we're going into Darkroot Basin. Yeah, and I made sure to rest at this bonfire in case this next bit didn't go well. Because I have to admit, I mean, I'm definitely not equipped for this, but even still, I never do too well at this fight for whatever reason. So it was just, you know, better safe than sorry, that mindset. And I realized I was trying to check if I had some better shield, but I don't. So I can't just block his attacks without taking any damage. And of course, this weak hand axe is not equipped to take a Black Knight out. Yeah, that doesn't feel too good. So I decided to try and cheese him with fireballs. It hurts him a little bit. And he hurts me. And I whiffed it, of course. Yeah, as you see, this is not going very well. But I got some good hits in right there, and it lost that last fireball. It would have really helped. Whoa, bad frame rate. Yeah, I don't know if you noticed, I was two-handing my pyromancy glove, and I got a little hype right here. I thought I was going to drop attack him and kill him, but no. And I got way too hype and rolled off. Yeah, so it's a good thing I rested at the fire, isn't it? So here we go for round 2. See, that's a good spot I want him in. That is a really good spot. Got some good hits on him early on. And of course I ruin it. Yeah, this fight is just not going well for me. It always worries me doing that right there as well, because I feel like he's going to charge me in mid-cast. Which is why I usually hesitate. Yeah, guy is tough. I'm trying to get a backstab on him. And of course I messed that up too. And I'm not gonna break his poise with this axe. Not as weak as it is. Almost making the same mistake as last time. I realized it, so I came in here. And I thought he was dead for a second, but he just will not go down. Look at that. So I get a little greedy. Almost bite it right there. but finally. And I don't even get the halberd. Oh, wonderful. Yeah, after that nonsense, I was about to just go to the bonfire, but figured it wasn't worth it. Grass Crest has better physical, and it's got that stamina regen property. So, yeah, of course it was a better piece of equipment. I tend to go for shields that have 100 physical resistance, because more enemies than not use physical attacks. So, I don't know, it seems logical to me to just go ahead and block all physical damage. Get that leather stuff that I'm never going to use. So on my recent Soul Level 1 playthrough, this is actually the shortcut that I took to get to Andre of Astora at the beginning. This goes embarrassing too. Look at that. Like 8 damage, 14. I almost mess up the lizard here. The hand axe is not a bad weapon, but it's really weak at first. I had, I think, a +8 hand axe on my Soul Level 1 before I got my reinforced club up to a +5 lightning, which that is a beastly weapon for a level 1. But the hand axe was doing the job pretty well. So anyways, yeah, I took this shortcut up to Andre of Astora, and on that Soul Level 1, I never actually fought the Taurus Demon. I don't know why. Yeah, I figured, why not? Why even waste time with that guy? So here we are, almost to the Undead Parish. Well, I guess technically we're in there now, but gotta get past the Titanite Demon first. Which he's not a big deal. Bye. Andre, what's up, bro?
Well, you must be a new arrival. I'm Andre of Astora. If you require smithing, then speak to me.
Alright, I shall. Hoorah! I had to learn how to do that as well. Oh, exciting.
I'll be seeing you then.
Yeah, there's not a lot I can do right now. Imminent blacksmith. Yeah, get this bonfire. That out there is Sen's Fortress. Obviously can't go in there yet. So at this point, I was trying to figure out exactly what I wanted to do. I'm gonna go ahead and pop some consumable souls. I don't know why I wasted time putting those onto my hot bar or whatever you'd call it. Only 2 souls, it would have taken less time to just use them from the menu. So yeah, I figured, I've got 6,000, I can do something with them.
Well, you need any?
Get some shards. But as you see, I can only get 7. It takes 9 to go from a +1 to a +5. Now, I was a bit confused as to what I wanted to do at that point.
Don't get yourself.
Got some frame issues right there, but it'll pick back up. I almost leveled up. I was thinking about it. I still hadn't decided if I wanted to stay at level 1. This is the point where I decided, sometime around now I decided my plan is to stay at level 1 until I get at least a +10 reinforced club. And then I'm going to use that to take out the Taurus Demon. That should be fun. Just mop the floor with him at that point. So 8 damage, 100 damage on the second hit. Takes him out, but not very efficient. Look, 1, 2, 3 hits, 114 total. I was not satisfied with that. I would be able to do what I want, but it felt a bit weak. Go ahead and call the Tower Knight out, or I forget their proper name. Yeah, and I really messed this guy up. Like right here, I didn't know he could do a second attack. Because I typically melee these guys. So, yeah, that was a point where I learned my mistake. And of course, he has to make life hard on me. Goodbye, old friend. Titanite shard. So, go ahead and run in here and get this Firekeeper soul that he was guarding. Well, like I said, I was still not entirely sure how I wanted to approach this. But, like I said, I was really unsatisfied with the damage that the just default hand axe is outputting. And I was unsatisfied with my performance in that fight, so I went ahead and decided to come down here also for the bonfire.
Well, you need it.
So yeah, just a little bit shy of getting the +5. I went ahead and bought the last bit of Titanite that I needed, but I couldn't afford it. But if you recall, like I said, it took 3 hits. I think the backstab was like 8 and then 100 on the second hit. And the non-backstab, it took 3 hits for a total of 114. Let's see how this handles it now. It's just kind of a demo of how important equipment is on here. But it's also going to make life a lot easier on me. 16 and 174. Quite a difference. Only 2 hits and 162 damage. So, there. That should prove the point pretty well. Ooh, a little alliteration there. Gotta love some alliteration. Right here, I guess, yeah, I was going for the shortcut. But I knew what I wanted to do, and that's the reason I upgraded the axe, is I wanted to go talk to Solaire, good old Sunbro, and get the White Sign Soapstone. But I figured it would have been a bit of a pain to do it without upgrading the hand axe. I mean, like I said, I could handle it, but just make life easier on myself. I'm not gonna miss those few souls. Be wary of forest. Yeah, so the Darkroot Forest we were running through earlier, the garden and the basin, that's actually it off to the left. So I don't know the range at which these guys aggro, so I just like to walk up on them. Yeah, gotta do the kick. I don't know why, but I'm really bad at the kick. You just like hit forward on the stick and hit the strong attack at the same time. And it does a kick. But a lot of times I mess it up. But yeah, if you do that, it breaks their guard and you can just... You even have time to switch to 2-hand and get the full attack on them. I decided to come back here and get on the other side of the gate to make sure it doesn't get closed on me at any point. And this Balder Knight always charges out if you're at the front like that. Get that backstab. So this little section went pretty well. It was fun. Alright, so yeah, that got a bit hairy out there. Knew it wouldn't be a good idea to stay out there. This guy closes the gate. He has some wicked invincibility frames, but take him out. Now, I've never... Usually when I go backwards, I kind of take the proper path in reverse. So I never knew how the boar reacted when you were back here. So he kind of surprised me with this. But yeah, if you were listening right there, you could hear him, and that's actually what cued me to it. And I didn't know he would charge this far. So I came up here just to make sure I'm safe, and he set himself up to die. Yeah, stupid arrows, making my life hard. But I figured, yeah, I'll be right back up to you in a minute, so just hang tight, archer dude. In fact, if you want, you can drop down from right up here onto the archers, but there's another way to get up to them as well. Oh yeah, forgot this Balder Knight. You can never forget the Balder Knight. And yeah, he actually survived the backstab, which kind of surprised me, to be honest. I was checking the Knight shield, and notice 100 physical versus 95 physical. Yeah, it's weaker in some regards, but the stability is 56 versus, what, 51. So, of course, the stability comes into play with, if you block an attack, how much stamina drain will it take? The higher the stability, the less stamina it takes, and that, by the way, is how you drop down onto the archers. So, yeah, higher stability and 100 physical. Like, everybody here is using physical. Got that dropping, that plunging attack, took him out. These guys are... They're even easier when you go this way, because they don't expect you. They're not set up for this. So I figure I'll plunge down on this guy. What's up, bro? Take this guy out. Yeah, for some reason I blocked it with my axe, which is stupid. Sometimes I make that mistake and forget whether I'm in one or two hand. Screw that table. Mystery key. That'll be explained in a little bit. So this part is actually like an ambush. I decided to just take him out. I mean, if you go down this way, it's not really an ambush, but I still decided to have some fun with it. Try to see if I could throw one down there, but he wasn't cooperating. Ooh, get burned. Smells like chicken. I like chicken. So yeah, like right when you go through that little part where that last Dregling I killed, he'll actually run away and go in, and like 3 other dudes will jump down with him. So all those guys will ambush you. And yeah, I think right here I was answering a text, so I apologize. Hurry up. I don't have all day. There we go. Once again, you can either kick these guys or wait for them to do an attack, but sometimes they're really stubborn and they don't like to attack. This guy in particular, he doesn't like attacking. Ooh, block. Oh, I think, yeah, right there I was just kind of showing. See, it took no actual health from me, just a little bit of stamina. Arrows never tend to take a lot of stamina, unless they're from the Dragon Slayer Great Bow. But that doesn't show up for a little while. A few hours in, depending on how fast you are. So yeah, we'll come back down here. Try for the backstab and of course mess it up. Now you take a look over here, we can't go this way, but there's actually a bonfire in there. So I hate this room. The past few times I've played, this room has royally screwed me over. And I didn't want to die to it right here. Thing is, I've got 0 poise. Now I tried to take the attack and whiffed it. I hit the wall, bounced off the wall. And look at this, getting tore up trying to get up the ladder. I have 0 poise, which means the way poise works is it determines how much damage or how big of a hit you can take without getting staggered. So 0 poise means any hit is going to stagger me a bit. And these guys, they'll attack relatively fast, as you see right there. He hit me twice in that little bit of time. They'll attack relatively fast, and they can poison you. And with 3 of them and no poise, they can actually be a little dangerous. And as embarrassing as it is, I didn't even want to mess with this guy. As embarrassing it is, last time I went through that room, I almost died because, well, I think I did die recently in it, but I was like stuck in the little tunnel next to the ledge there, and I'm having to roll around, and they're almost killing me, and I'm almost falling off the ledge. And I noticed over there, that's actually part of the Undead Burg, that I never realized you could see it from here. So I'm just taking a look at it, admiring the scenery. Alright, so almost back to the sun, bro. Decided to go ahead and trigger the shortcut and climb down. Press B while you're on the ladder to slide. Yeah, I decided to rest here because I was afraid this next bit wouldn't go well. I was extremely paranoid. You'll notice it in my playstyle. So I come up here and I like run into that corner, run back onto the stairs. I'm freaking out. I don't know what's happening. So I decide to be risky and run straight out here. Ooh, look at that, taking those arrows. Here's a fun one. Sit down at the bonfire and then get hurt. I thought that well, it might still happen. Let's see. So, yeah, this is that shortcut I was showing off a minute ago. You know, as you see, there's this guy. What's going on, dude? You don't want to fight? Die. And right in here is the rat tunnel again. Don't want to mess with those guys, because I get really unlucky for some reason. I don't know. Just a little bit of poise makes that a lot easier. So yeah, given that I'd already rested at the bonfire, I wasn't as worried. I'm still freaking out, not knowing what's happening. Undead Burg. Finally. Solaire!
Ah, hello.
Sunbro.
You don't look hollow, far from it. I am Solaire of Astora, an adherent of the Lord of Sunlight. Now that I am undead, I have come to this great land, the birthplace of Lord Gwyn, to seek my very own son. Do you find that strange? Well, you should. No need to hide your reaction. I get that look all the time. Oh, aha, I have a proposition, if you have a moment. The way I see it, our fates appear to be intertwined. In a land brimming with hollows, could that really be mere chance? So what do you say? Why not help one another on this lonely journey?
This pleases me greatly. Well then, take this. We are amidst strange beings in a strange land.
One might say we're strangers in a strange land.
With heroes centuries old phasing in and out. The very fabric wavers, and relations shift and obscure. There's no telling how much longer your world and mine will remain in contact. But use this to summon one another as spirits, cross the gaps between the worlds, and engage in jolly cooperation.
Jolly
Of course,
cooperation.
we're not the only ones engaged in this.
Yes.
But I am a warrior of the sun. Spot my summon signature easily by its brilliant aura. If you miss it, you must be blind.
Yeah, he's the sun bro.
Oh, hello there. I will stay behind to gaze at the sun. The sun is a wondrous body, like a magnificent father. If only I could be so grossly incandescent.
It almost looks like I am Solaire at that point. All right. Whoa, little lag there, sorry. So yeah, you can get the basement key without beating the gargoyles or the Taurus demon and legitimately get here. All you need is the master key. So here is the fog wall for the Taurus demon on the opposite side. You, as I'm demonstrating here, you cannot go through, which makes sense, I guess. Now, I felt a bit comfortable being on the bridge at this point. Well, I was still kind of freaking out, as you can see. But I was a bit more, I guess, complacent. And once again, you can see that other part of the undead burg right there. I was just admiring it. No frames. If I ever put this other hard drive in, that problem will go away. Reminds me of this recent article, I guess you could say, that I saw on The Onion. It's like 187 pictures, which if clicked rapidly through, looks like, you know, moving animation. And it's like each picture is just, it's a circle, and each time you click it, the next picture, it's just moved one set of pixels to the right. I found it rather amusing. Decided to head down here to the bonfire. Again, I was a little undecided of what I was doing. At this point I realized I had a few souls. I could come check out the merchant. Looks like the frames picked back up. Nope. Sorry. Jinxed it. Yeah. It was recording at 30 more often than not. There's just little bouts here and there like that. I was keeping my eye on it. If it stayed down too long, I would, you know, stop the recording. That's actually why I stopped it at Firelink Shrine. I wanted to watch that other video and see what happened. See how it looked. Trying to bait this guy into attacking. I didn't want to get them both on me. Eventually I just pretty much gave up. Said screw it. These guys, like I said, the spear guys are really bad about attacking. You pretty much have to kick them. Or, unless you want to wait. Yeah, that's a secret place. Just roll through them. Stupid box. There's an ambush guy down here as well, so watch out for that. Now, of course, for any new player, I don't recommend taking this backwards route that I am. So, sorry, let me let him talk.
Customer. I trade for souls. Everything's for sale.
You do not sound creepy at all. Alright, so I think you can get the residence key in another way, but the repair box and bottomless box, I'm not sure, so I always want to buy those, and just to be safe, I buy the residence key.
Thank you,
I don't tend to use the bottomless box a lot. I mean, it's useful, but I am going to get it. I just didn't buy it at that moment. So as I was saying, I don't, you know, obviously for a new player, this would not be an ideal way to play. So I'm going to try to highlight some of the more appropriate paths, the way that you'd be intended to play, as I go through them. Like I said, I just wanted to have some fun with this early game. The reinforced club. I love that weapon. I love the scimitar as well. I never really used the reinforced club until that soul level 1 playthrough, but it can dish out damage.
Thank you very much.
And if you're at level 1,
Soon.
thank you, dude. That's no, you're weird. You scare me. But yeah, if you upgrade it to a lightning +5 and you're soul level 1, you can dish out a lot of damage. I think in Demon Ruins I was taking out Capra demons in 2 hits. So this is actually an appropriate path. You get to the merchant, you go this way. This is actually not going backwards, because this is the only way to get up here. Unless there's some really weird glitch I'm not aware of. Now jumping in this game is a little awkward. You gotta... I'm using a 360 controller, so B is sprint, roll, and jump. You gotta, you know, hold B to sprint. While you're actually sprinting, you like tap B and you'll jump. It's a little awkward. You come out here, you get yourself a crossbow and some bolts. Nothing too fancy. Whoa. Alright. And I completely missed that. Yeah, I thought I heard the other guy in here, but this guy here on the left throws fire bombs. So you want to watch out for that. I noticed that guy down there freaking out. I don't know if you saw that. So you can actually jump across that to get up here if you just want to get this item, humanity. That's of course not the appropriate way to do it. The appropriate way is to go down here. Once again, this is going the proper path. But this is also an optional part of that path. Let's see, come in here, there's a little item, which is just a lost undead. Nothing particularly useful. I mean, I guess right now it kind of helps. I've never seen this guy go up there. It kind of weirded me out. So I decided, I just did that to see if I could even hit him. Obviously he's not really a threat. The way you do that is, the strong attack for the axe is just a stronger, like swing. But if you, just the same way you do the kick, like hit the analog stick forward and, yeah, and look, those guys, you could see them hanging. If you go forward, they'll actually climb up. Kind of like that guy jumped over the edge there. That one up there too. But yeah, so it's the same way you do the kick, but instead of using the weak attack, which is the kick, you do the strong attack and the left stick forward at the same time. And that only works, you know, some weapons, their strong attack is already a jumping, leaping attack like that. So that's where you would actually come into Undead Burg normally. Go through here. This is the proper path. There's an item over here. And then this happens. Bye. But yeah, of course I've already cleared all these guys out. And there's where the shop dude is at. Yeah, that was super dumb. It took me longer to get into the menu and use it, but it was already equipped to my hotbar thing. I don't know, I wasn't thinking when I did this.
Oh, oh.
Yeah, you stop that. So I get the bottomless box, and just have enough for another scimitar. That way I can get a, you know, upgrade them however I want, have some fun with it. And that's why I got the 2 clubs as well. I was double checking to make sure I had 2. Seeing if anything useful. I was tempted to wait and get the heater shield, but this was about the point where I decided that I'm probably going to go with the spider shield here in a bit, so heater shield's not worth it.
Oh, thank you very much. Come back soon.
Now you can't lock onto this guy unless he's hostile, so. Oh well, hand axe it is. Oh!
Oh, why me, little Julia?
Now, I'm under the impression that perhaps if you kill him, he will drop the residence key, possibly saving you 1,000 souls. I'm not 100% sure, and I want the residence key, so I made sure to buy it. The reason you would kill him is for the Uchigatana. Now, seeing as I'm going to be waiting until I have a plus 10 reinforced club, that's not entirely necessary, as I could purchase Uchigatanas from Shiva if I really wanted to. But honestly, I tend to forget that that's a possibility, or I just forget who sells them. So that's the easiest way to get an Uchigatana, particularly early in the game. And I think I was still deciding right then, do I want to kill the Taurus demon or not? Like I said, it took me a while to decide how I wanted to do this. Which is also why, if it seems like there's no direction to my madness, that's correct. And I was still paranoid and oh, it happened now, finally. That's why I was so paranoid on the bridge earlier. I didn't know if Mr. Drake was going to show up. I guess he's a wyvern. Come on, drop down. Now, this is a really weird... That was a good death. See, he stood right there. I could have got some good hits on his tail and probably cut it off, getting the Drake sword, but I decided against it. Half the time when I'm actually trying to get the Drake sword, he will not do that for me. As soon as I run out onto the bridge, he'll just, you know, he'll jump up and spit fire, and it doesn't work. So I probably should have went for that, but it's too late now. It's not like I'm going to use it anyways. I probably don't even have the stats at this level. Get killed, get deaded. Now this we have to, of course, get back up here. Yeah, that's a demonstration of poise, by the way. That was allowing me to break his poise. Using two-handed attacks lets you break poise more easily, so if the guy's got his shield up, you can just break through his guard. No, it doesn't necessarily... You know, some guys have more poise than others. Some weapons break poise more easily. This is early game, so it's not something you're freaking out about. Oh, dude, how much poise does he have? This is so difficult. It's early game, calm down. Take out Mr. Balder Knight. No. This part, you don't want to rush in. Well, if you want to take them one at a time. If you look around the left here, this guy will actually aggro first. So you lead him out here, take him on, then you take on the last one. And this guy is actually the strongest of the three. As you see, it took 4 hits. This guy's not cooperating. So I remember I can just break his poise. Stagger him. Yeah, see, that one also only took 2 hits. I never really noticed the difference in how many hits those guys took, how much life they had. That guy is the channeler. I was going to see if I could possibly throw a fireball up there. It doesn't look like it. That guy can be a bother. I heard his little chant there, and I'd never heard that before. Alright, just gonna probably rush past these guys. Yeah. Nope. I couldn't resist the call. The siren call of death. Yeah, come on. Stop playing. Oh, well, that's actually a good point, though. I wanted the shards. Or I wanted the souls so I could buy more shards, do more upgrading. So yeah, it actually does help. And if you'll notice up there in the top left, that is, of course, my held humanity. The higher that is, there's things you can do with it. You need held humanity. The higher that is, it affects a few things, gives you some better defenses, raises your curse resist. It also raises your item drop rate. And on my Soul Level 1 playthrough I just finished recently, I did not allow summons of NPCs or anybody. So...
Well, hello again.
Yeah.
You seem to be doing all right. Need anything forged?
So yeah, the only reason that I ever went reversed hollowing on that run was to allow the NPCs to invade me at the particular points to get their extra souls and all that. But I would not get any summons to help me. So right here I'm just looking, the scimitar, it has some scaling, B scaling on dexterity, E scaling on strength. This only has B scaling on dexterity, but it has 300 bleed damage. And the Uchigatana starts at a little bit higher damage as well. So I'm just kind of highlighting the difference between those. And what I decided I was going to go with again is the reinforced club for now, since I'm at level 1. I was looking at the hand axe. At +5 it would have 120 damage. The reinforced club at +1 is going to have 106. So I don't quite have enough to get it up to +5 yet. But you see, it's already doing a lot better than the hand axe. +5 is going to be 145.
Don't get yourself killed. Neither of us want to see you go hollow.
It's okay, I won't. So time to get that bad boy on. So anyways, yeah, I was talking about the summons and all that. On here, I am allowing myself to do some summons. I don't know how much or if I will limit that. Just to make things, I don't know, mix them up a little bit here and there. So I decided to come out here just to demonstrate how much more effective this weapon is now that, well, compared to the hand axe, I should say. Now that it's upgraded. I never showed it off before. Boom, 27, total of 228. And one hit kills these guys now. I was pretty hype. I thought that was going to be a shard, but it was not. With this with this 2 health humanity, the item drop rate that we get, we'll get more stuff like that. The longsword is a pretty good weapon. It's got a good move set. It's a quality weapon, so it scales with both strength and dexterity. Technically, what was it? The scimitar that had like E strength scaling? I wouldn't consider that quality. Now look at this guy. See him dancing? That he actually... Now I felt really lucky there. But what he actually did is he buffed himself and all the guys around him. So if you look closely at him now, and this is why I'm playing it really cautious. But if you look closely, there's this kind of, I don't know, this aura around him. It looks almost like some kind of fog or something around him. It's hard to explain, but I'm sure you see it. That shows that he's buffed. And if you look there too, the knights, the Balder Knights are also buffed. And I didn't realize they were buffed at first because I'm just worried about the channeler. But now the Balder Knight, I thought he was aggressive. I don't know why I'm going in there. But I decide to do so, and now is the point where I'm realizing they're buffed as well. And that's getting on my nerves, so I decided to switch out. Yeah, and I think that's also the reason I was sticking with the fireballs so much, was just so the buff guy doesn't kill me in like one hit. And that was a really unfortunate place for that to happen as well, because, well, you'll see. So there I was demonstrating the strong attack of the reinforced club. Like I said, that's already leaping attacks, so doing the, like how the kick works, it's not going to change anything. Oh, and frame rate would drop here. Oh well. This is the reason that's a dangerous place for the buff, is because there's a lot of guys surrounding him, and each one of these would be buffed. Look at that! 4 guys. Took out 4 guys. But yeah, each one of them would be buffed, and that's not something we want to happen. So I decided here, you know, I already had wasted all my fireballs. I didn't know if I wanted to use them or not, but I decided this was just going to be a sweeping run where I'll clear everything out, take care of all the business, and then I'll come back through to take out the gargoyles. This is also around the time I decided, yeah, I'll go ahead and do a summon for it. Now the way the summons work, I know that Dark Souls 2 is just coming out in a couple months, but might as well say it anyways, just for the sake of correctness and completion. The way the summons work, to summon somebody you have to be human. In other words, you have to go to a bonfire and reverse hollowing. To be summoned, you can be hollow. It doesn't matter. Let's see, this guy drops humanity. So yeah, it costs 1 humanity to reverse hollowing. Now, once you've reversed hollowing, you are also open to being invaded. So it has that risk associated with it.
Still human, are you? Then I am in luck. Could you help me? As you can see, I am stuck without recourse.
So when I decided that I wanted to actually do a summon,
Thank you.
I have to go back anyways to reverse hollowing.
I am Knight Lautrec of Karim. I truly appreciate this, and I guarantee a reward. Only later. Yes, very sorry. Your reward will have to wait. I've just been freed. Allow me some time.
Alright, so yeah, that guy's fun. We'll see more of him later. Plenty more of him. What am I doing? I have no idea what I was doing there, why I did that. Alright, back to the bonfire and Andre. Well, this also meant, I believe I went ahead and upgraded to +5, yes. It was at the point of the game where that was a possibility. So I decided to just look at the armor and see what it would do. This is the point where I started worrying about what armor path I was going to take, how I was going to handle armor upgrades, which I will elaborate more in a little bit. So, go ahead and reverse hollowing, and I tried to get a close-up of the guy's face, because you see it's all nasty and ugly, and you'll see it turn normal looking. Well, as normal as that face is. So now I'm human, I can summon people, I can be invaded, all kinds of things happen. Even more damage, 249, I forgot what we did before. I get wrecked by that dude. It's embarrassing. I'm looking at that white sign down there. That's a summon sign. Someone placed it there, so I can summon them now if I want. That other one's a summon sign as well. Nightbro 1. Dark Spirit WYK Project Alpha has invaded. Yes. So somebody invaded me. And I'm not well equipped for it. I mean, I've got the damage on the reinforced club here. What am I doing? But right now, oh, there he is. I'm just waiting, giving myself an opening to at least find the guy. Now, if you know the game, you can see what's up with his armor. This guy is a twink, it looks like. That looks like Ornstein's armor, or Smo's armor. Maybe mixed with something else, I can't quite tell. This guy's a twink. I'm not equipped to handle this guy. He's also using a reinforced club, so he's a level 1 probably, or something close. And notice he's trying to give me toxic right there. He's throwing dung pies at me. So we're gonna have a little fun with this. But that other bar, so the toxic bar ran away, or that might have been poison. This other bar that came up when he hit me, that's the bleed bar. If that fills up, you lose a bunch of health. And yeah, didn't go so well. Look at that taunting me. You hear that bell there? That's actually someone rang the bell of awakening. That's just a little thing they did in the game. When somebody else rings it in another game, you hear it in your game. There's a few things that happen between games. Reinforcing bonfires is one of them. And I forgot to reverse hollowing, so yeah. Get those invincibility frames on him. What's up, bro? Get wrecked. Oh yeah. That is... I mean, I'm taking him out in 2 hits when I do one-handed, but that's also another instance. You can see how much difference it makes. I tend to use my shield. I'll block, I'll get into position, then I'll switch and go for the 2-hand. I'm alright with dodges. I'm fairly confident in my dodging abilities, but not quite that confident. So go ahead and reverse. Alright. Come on, let's get this over with. Yeah, I'm not the best at PvP. And that guy, again, was a twink. He had obviously done some work to get that armor. Either that or it was given to him. Way I look at it, he could have done a Soul Level 1 playthrough and this could be New Game Plus. Or, well, no, not, what am I saying? Well, that brings me to the confusion I just had. More about summoning. You can only summon people before you have defeated the area boss. Once you've defeated the boss, you can no longer summon anyone in that area. But you can always be summoned to other people's worlds. So this part I was waiting, trying to just get a couple at a time. It doesn't work that way, as you'll see. That guy moves, they all move. Dude coming down the stairs back there. Dude, I get just messed up here. So I decide, play it a little more safe. Doesn't work. Yep. Yep. Can't even get to the first real boss because I keep dying on the way to him. And I did not want to go back up there just to get that humanity, just to come back to reverse hollowing, just to go back up there. Because of course resting at the bonfire will revive all of those enemies. So getting up there to recover my bloodstain, just to revive everybody, that seems a bit, you know, counterproductive. So I also decided to kindle the flame. This is another one I was going to talk about. If somebody in another game kindles the last bonfire that you rested at, you'll get a free Estus flask. So most bonfires start at 5. So they'll give you 5 Estus flasks when you use them. If you kindle it, it goes up to 10. If you have the rite of kindling, you can kindle it up to 20. So I decided to kindle it because I wanted to have a few Estus flasks for the boss. And at the rate this was going, I figured I was going to take a lot of damage in this hallway getting to the boss. So I might as well kindle it and make life a little easier on me so I have more room to heal. And I was also paranoid that I would get invaded again, which I'm kind of surprised happened. Yeah, so now I'm just being like really generous with the Estus. But yeah, otherwise I would have had to come all the way up here to get that one humanity to go back and use it. Not worth it. This hallway. It doesn't usually give me so much trouble, but of course it's the curse of recording. You never play or never perform up to standards while recording. It's not even like a pressure thing. I don't feel pressured while recording. It's just, it's the curse. I thought I saw another item. Look at this dragging these dudes around. It's brutal. So here we go. This is where you actually go to get to the boss. It is possible to just run through all of those guys, but you have to... There's a specific route that's safe, and it's very tricky. It's easy to get hit and just get swarmed and decimated by those guys, unless you get some practice with it. But ultimately, here you go. Knight Solaire. What's up, son, bro? So yeah, essentially, I know it's been a while, but the way you're supposed to go through all this, you can... when you get past the Taurus demon, you go to where Sunbro is at. Solaire here. Look at that. Praise the sun! And you go to where he's at, and you go across the bridge, and that little middle part of the bridge, you go down, kick the ladder down to that bonfire. That's your shortcut. Then you can either make it past the dragon like I did, or take the underbridge route, you know, go past where the boar is at, and then get to the bonfire next to Andre, the blacksmith. That's the normal route you would take. Oh, it's adorable. Let's say hi. Hello. Alright, he's not so scary. First of all, when you summon a phantom, the boss gets more health. So there is that, but see, one hit and look how much I took his life bar down. But I wanted to get back here and hit his tail, and he was not cooperating. The reason I wanted to do so is because of that. You get the gargoyle tail axe. And I kept pressing A and it wouldn't go away because I was mid-attack. So yeah, what happens when you take him down enough is a second gargoyle comes out, which you may be able to see the life bar down there, or you may have actually saw him on screen. There he is. This one is actually easier in my opinion, because you can bait him into doing that fire attack, like that, and then just go around him. But yeah, there you go. And you'll notice I did a lot of dodges there, and I was like slamming the select button here, and it wouldn't let me back button, whatever it is on a 360 controller. It wouldn't let me do the wave animation. I wanted to wave at Solaire, so I got a late wave. Oh well, it's better than nothing, right? We climb this ladder. We climb this ladder. We climb this ladder. Another gargoyle, so be ready. And we ring the bell. Alright, now of course it's easier to go down. If you want, you can walk off that ledge really slowly and you'll just drop down here. And this fall is not lethal. You can take this fall without dying.
Greetings. I am Oswald of Kareem, the Pardon. Thou art a friend. For me, a warm welcome. cometh out to confess, or to accuse. For indeed all sin is my domain.
So does he stand like that always? God. So yeah, the Purging Stone is really good because it gets rid of Curse. Karmic Justice, Miracle of the Black-Haired Witch Velka. Auto counter versus heavy damage. So for each sin there's a punishment. It's the task of the goddess Velka to define. So essentially that's used in PvP stuff. Yeah, boost bleeding, boost poison. Ring of Sacrifice. You can die and you don't lose any humanity or souls or anything. So yeah, the indictment. The indicted player will be added to a list of the unfortunate souls who will one day face the wrath of the Blades of the Dark Moon. And here we have the Book of the Guilty, which you can check the list of people who, I guess, have been indicted. I've never used it. Indictment, if someone, like that guy who invaded me earlier, yeah, I learned how to do Well, What Is It? And I love that one. But like that guy who killed me earlier, I could have indicted him, and it would have like put him in the Book of the Guilty, and then someone could invade him if they're in the proper covenant. Kind of interesting. There it is. I love that. I think that's what the guy did to me after he killed me. I always do that. I confess I'm a little guilty of the same thing myself. My soul level 1 is in the Dark Wraith Covenant, and he likes to sit around in the Undead Burg before the Taurus Demon and invade people. It's delightfully fun. A little evil, but a lot of fun. You don't run across a lot of other people in that level range. The highest people I would be able to interact with are, I guess, level 10. The way it works is it's 10 plus and minus 10% of your level. But 10% of my level is only 0.1, so it would just be 10. So yeah, I guess up to level 11. But yeah, as I was saying, you don't run into a lot of people in that level range that are actually equipped to handle you, especially when you've got really upgraded equipment. It's cute though. You can let them, attack you, and it takes off like 1/30 of your health bar. It's pretty cute. Yeah, just repair all my equipment. Any slight damage I took during that.
Well, you need it.
So the weaponsmith box and armorsmith box allow me to do basic upgrades at the bonfires now. I was just checking defenses here. Still hadn't decided if I wanted to go spider shield or not. The Covenant of Artorias, we'll get into that later. Again, debating what I wanted to do here. I've got enough to upgrade something, and I shouldn't have done this. I went ahead and upgraded some of the tattered cloth garbage. I was going to do like one upgrade for each, and I decided, well, the robe offers the most defense. Why not use it a couple of extra times? Yeah, I shouldn't have done this. What I was thinking is that you get the black leather armor in the same place as you do the spider shield, and that is incorrect. You get the black leather armor earlier than I thought, and I really like that armor set. So I wanted to wait until I got it, but I figured I'm going to need the defense for the next boss if I got to go down all the way to the spider shield. But of course, like I said, I don't. So that was a waste. Oh well, the more you know, right? So this Titanite demon, he's got reach. That would have hit me if I didn't stagger him. Well, maybe not. That catch pole has a lot of reach, as you're gonna see soon enough. So I'm trying to stay just a little bit back. I'm actually surprised he's still using ranged attacks at how close we are. But yeah, as you see, that thing kind of stretches out. And the sound is really weird right here on him. It's not making much noise when I hit him. Go ahead and listen. Yeah, something's off. It was throwing me off. Reminds me of that Ride to Hell game. There's that cutscene at the beginning. And that dude, all this stuff is happening. He like grabs the guy, puts a knife to his throat, everything, but there's no audio. So you'll notice I get way back to use the Estus because he has this jumping lunge attack that will just wreck your world if you're not careful. Probably being too cautious. Yeah, you see how far back I was there. Probably being too cautious with him, but that's just the thing. I got him down so weak, I didn't want to have to refight him. And he's dead now, so it's all good.
Well, neat. Don't get yourself.
All right. Anytime now. So at this point, I'm just heading down. I made a boo-boo. I thought, I always forget which ember you get for going down here. And just for the record, it is the divine ember. I thought it was the large ember. Now what that means, the large ember would let me go past a +5. And honestly, I don't have the proper shards for it anyways, but I thought this was the large ember. So this is all just a waste of time, but it's easy. Essentially, I'm just coming down here into the Darkroot Garden to take out the Moonlight Butterfly. I don't bother with looting it or anything because I don't feel adequately prepared for it right now. What's that say? Imminent enemy. Yes, it's an emony, like a sea anemone. Yeah. So I was pointing out there's actually a guy down there. You can see him. Pretty well camouflaged. But I'm just gonna keep watch on him. He pops up only when you go around him, like that. Get deaded, boy. Get deaded. Purple moss clump. That stuff's gonna come in handy later. There is a soul right there. Alright, so that's where there's an item that lets you get in there. It's the Covenant of Artorias. I'm pretty sure I mentioned it earlier. Costs 20,000 souls. You don't have to take that route. I'm probably not going to bother with it, but whatever. So yeah, there's that hidden bonfire right there. You either hit the wall or just roll through it. But yeah, so we're going to go down here, approach the boss. We're actually almost there. This is not a long area right here. If you go in there, there are 3 Ents, the little tree guys that I've been killing. But there's that item. Like, they trigger when you pick the item up. They will wreck you if you're not careful. If you get out, get in the doorway. Yeah, I didn't mean to kick him. But if you get out, get in the doorway, and use like fireball or maybe a fire orb if you have it, you can often they'll get stuck in the doorway. Or they'll get clumped together, and you can hit them all at once and take them down pretty well. Now, there's a few of these guys laying out here. These are, I guess, stone knights. I stood around a little bit just to show the perspective of how large these guys are. And yeah, I didn't want to play with them, so I'm just heading on. Oh, here we are. There's a little snake guy on the tree, a 2-headed snake. He's kind of hard to see the full body of. But it's up there. I didn't want to hang around and let the Stone Knight catch up with me. So yeah, you roll back there, and there's a summon sign for Witch Beatrice, who makes this boss fight super easy or doesn't do anything. Now let's see what happens this time. And she'll wreck these Stone Knights, though, whenever she gets around to it. Look at that. Doing the damage pretty quickly. 231, not bad. This guy, he's not smart enough. I was getting ready to go in. I didn't know he could get up, if he could get up here or not. But he's not smart enough, fortunately, so Beatrice is just going to come up here and wreck him for me. See, he blocked that and it still did 95. Oh yeah, and this boss uses magic, so I was looking for the shield with the most magic resistance, which ends up being the cracked round shield, of all things. Looks like we've come full circle, haven't we? Back to the starting gear in that regards. All but the reinforced club. So, say hello to the moonlight butterfly. Don't know what happened to my talking there. So if you do that, it's really weird. You see, it seems to hit, but it doesn't. Yeah, that's why I wanted magic defense. So Beatrice does stuff. Sometimes you'll get really lucky, and Beatrice will just go to town, hit it over and over, and it'll be done in, 10-15 seconds. Beatrice right here doesn't seem to want to do anything except follow me, so I've got to lure her back to the butterfly. So this is what happens now. It'll come up here and it'll land, and you can start wailing on it for a little while. Now I need to let my stamina come back so I can get some attacks in. And I start getting cautious, and yeah, this happens. You want to back off before that happens. And now we gotta wait and finish it off because Beatrice isn't doing she's not doing a damn thing. Did you see that? Did you see that? So yeah, I'm out of fireballs now. All I have to do is let Beatrice... Watch, are you gonna hit? Nope, you missed. Oh, at least she tried. Yeah, all I'm going to do at this point is wait for Beatrice to kill it, or for it to land again. Because I don't have any other options without arrows. Those things will... they hurt. And it's done. Beatrice, what the hell? So at least I got the wave off that time. Pretty easy boss. I mean, you can get... a lot of it's based on luck. Like I said, if Beatrice actually does stuff or not, you can't really control that. So I come back here, I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna get my large ember. Boo, divine ember. Yeah. I'm not a huge fan of like divine weapons and all that stuff. But I mean, I guess they have their, well, they do have a really good use. I'll get into that later. But yeah, there you go. That was all a waste of time. The only thing it did, it got me a bunch of extra souls I could play with, which would really help if I was leveling up. Because at this point, I've got nothing to spend them on other than regular Titanite. So I did a wide sweep here to make sure no stone knights pestered me. That right there is the Elite Knight armor set. It's a pretty good mid to heavy set. It's also booby trapped. You get it, and there's a bunch of dudes will pop up. You can go in, grab it, and run away without problem, but I'm not planning on using it, so why bother? Just to get my Estus and my fireballs back. Let's be on our way. Yeah, I just realized what shield I was holding. Back to the Knight shield for now. These guys can grab you, by the way, and it's not pleasant. There's not a single grabbing attack in this game that is even remotely pleasant. Most of them... Some of them are almost an instant kill with a character of this low vitality. Yeah, and of course, that little path to the left there leads back into the Dark Root Basin, which is that shortcut I took earlier, coming up where that Black Knight, and I rolled off the ledge and all that fun stuff. And we're coming back here to Andre. Yeah, not a lot happens around here.
I've seen one of those before. It's the ember of a divine blacksmith. Might you consider leaving that with me? I could produce divine weapons with a flame such as that.
Sure, go for it.
Well, thanks for that. You've made a fine decision. You soon shall see.
See, I caught myself skipping through the dialogue there. I'm not planning on using the... I'm not planning on using divine weapons again, but you know what? I mean, what, you can't really do anything else with it. So decided to get 9 of them because 9 will take you again from a normal to a +5. But if I'm upgrading equipment, it doesn't work like that. As you'll see, I can't go past +3. And that's because you start needing large Titanite shards. And I don't have access to those yet. But I decided I've got all these souls I'm not doing anything with, so... get a couple extras.
Don't get yourself killed.
Once again, that was all a waste because I get the black leather set well before I intended to. Yeah, these guys are no longer any fun, and I always kill this guy, even though you don't really need to kill any of these three if you're just gonna run past. So yeah, I couldn't quite make up my mind how I wanted to do this, so I really goof right here, just going back and forth. Oh, this is brilliant too. So there is a, I don't know if shortcut is the word, because it's the only cut, it's the only path. If you drop down here from the elevators, come over here, and jump or roll like so, come up here, and if you keep going up, you'll actually be able to get back to the Undead Asylum. There's, remember I showed that other boss, and I was dumb. You can't get back up. Like I said, I goofed pretty hard. You done goofed, boy. You done goofed. Just drop down. Alright, so... yeah, you can actually go back to the asylum, but I'm not going to go there right now, but I am doing something specific, which you have to do this before you can really... I know you don't have to, but if you're going to go back there, you probably want to do this. Yes, the floor 2 west key. And I noticed that thing up there, but you get to that point and you just slide down. And I was trying to figure out, what is that? How do I get there? 'Cause apparently I missed an item. I'm always leaving items out here for some reason. Can't go there. I fell. Just super clumsy. Oh yeah, there's a path right there. And it's just a soul of a lost undead. Nothing useful. I mean, it has its use, but come on. Alright. So I think I'm gonna come rest here at the bonfire for a minute and call it for this episode, so go ahead and see you guys here next time where we take on the Capra Demon.